Okay, yeah, I should be back now. So, had a bit of technical difficulties in the last stream, and then I got kind of busy for about an hour or two, and then Streamlabs had to update, but I think I should be good with the frame rate and everything. Like, I don't think the frames will drop an incredible amount. I'm not gonna put the last stream on YouTube, because it was only like 5 minutes, so I'll just try to sum it up as best I can. I went back into the cave, got a bit of ore, almost died to another one of those sand, like Tomb Raider things that are they're like giant sandworms pretty much. It does like 75 damage to me, and I have 100 health, so I just saved and quit because that's pretty much the only way I can get back to spawn. Or I could have gotten back to spawn from that situation and survived, so I just saved and quit. I don't have a magic mirror, so I couldn't use that as I don't have one. And then I got a bit of ore while I was gone, but nothing too crazy. It's in the last stream. I'll leave it on Twitch, and it should be there for a while, but I'm just not going to put it on YouTube because it's only 5 minutes. And there's not really a reason for me to. Yeah, we have the tin helmet, and that's the only thing that we can make currently that is of use other than like the reinforced fishing pole. I think I have a silver bow. Like, what type of bow is that? Iron, I think. Yeah, I think I'm fine with weapons and things like that. And then I have an iron or a tin axe, which is a lot better than that one, and things like that. Here, let me just sell some stuff to Gus. I actually need to start putting my money in a chest that I get. Oh wait, I can just hit X this though. Yeah, I think that what I've sold so far is pretty good. And I can sell that as well. But yeah, I think I've been putting all my money into this chest, so I'm just gonna do that. Yep. And then I'll convert that to gold later. But, yeah, I don't really know what I should do currently. I think I'm just gonna start a mine. I think that'll be something that's decent. And I really like this pop-up menu. I had no idea this was a thing until last stream, or the stream before last stream technically, but the last main stream. And it looks like my frame rate is fine, so we're good. I just want to double check that. But I kind of want to go underground. I think I'm just gonna make like a straight down thing with some of these wood platforms. I'm just gonna turn all my wood into platforms. And we're just gonna see how far I can go. I also need torches, so I probably shouldn't have done that and made some torches, but I think Gus actually sells torches, so let me just go ahead and grab that. And pretty much all of my money, and then see if I can buy any torches from Gus. I don't even know if he sells them because I don't remember, but I think he does. Yeah, he does. And I might as well just buy them, so that way I don't have to make any. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think that was like 1 gold for all of that, pretty much. Maybe a little bit over. Like 1 gold, 20 silver, I think is what it was. Well, they were 50 copper each, I guess, so. And I bought 99. So, I think I'm just gonna make it here. Seems like a good place as any to start digging down. And I'm gonna make sure that I have this above my head. Well, not the torch, but that. And then I'll put the torch here. I'm pretty sure zombies can still actually fall down here. Okay, I'm zooming in all the way. Which isn't that great. But at least I won't have to deal with those sandworms. And the zombies can only fall in there for right now. Well, I keep messing that up, but it's fine. I just want to make sure that I'll be able to jump out as long as I go down. And I think I'm going to put the next one here. It's not going to be like an even, like every few blocks, because I don't really know how to measure that in Terraria, just based off of like looking at it. But it might end up being even. I'm just not aiming for that, I guess. I will be putting torches like every 2, kind of like what I'm doing currently. Every 2 spaces, so, or not every 2, but every other. So, like, no torch on top, torch inside, no torch, torch inside. Just to keep things bright, and then I will also be putting torches if I dig in a certain part to be able to see. Kind of like, I'll put a torch here because I took this iron and I want to be able to see if there's anything else back here. And I'll just leave it. Yeah, that's not good. I think he can actually fall down. So let me just back up to here. Yeah, it can fall. Just had to make sure. I would not want to find that out the hard way. Oh, and I got a zombie panda for it. Oh yeah, that's the thing in this game I completely forgot about. That's kind of annoying. Because they clutter inventory very quickly, so I'm just going to put that there. It makes it where I do more damage with zombies, which will actually be pretty useful around this area. Do I have it at my house? Do I have its effect? I mean, no, I actually lose it. So I'm going to go grab that and put that near my house. Or my current base. It's not really my house. I'll probably build a separate one much later into the game for me. I didn't do that in my last world, but I really needed to. This will eventually be a much nicer house as well. Like, I want to build a town for all of the NPCs to live in their own individual houses, but for now that's just going to be that. Did not mean to break that dirt. So dirt's here. This is going to be like the most boring part of Terraria, is the beginning. This is kind of why I've kind of dreaded to start an expert mode playthrough, was because you have to go through this beginning part. And I kind of talked about that in the first stream I did of expert mode, where I thought about just giving myself a drill so that way I'd be able to just dig straight through the ground and pretty much go wherever I want. I wouldn't give myself any like armor, just things that allow me to move around a lot faster and progress through the beginning of the game a lot faster. But I decided not to do that because it'd be like disingenuous kind of for the run. And this is going to be useful much later. That's why I'm going ahead and putting all of these on platforms. I forgot what they were called. Because I'm going to be using it to get to the underworld quickly. And then eventually I can actually just remove the platforms if I want to and just fall down. But I'll probably end up building another hole at that point. Because then I should have wings and things like that and won't need to have anything to catch me falling and not take fall damage. And I heard a shooting star, so I actually want to see if I can find it. Because if I can max out my mana quickly, then I won't have to worry about it later. I think it was this way. Yep. Can I not? Okay, I can't jump over that. So let me just grab a rope. Can't really see much out here. There we go. And now I can go back underground. Oh. That is very interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot that they have a massive amount of range. I mean, I did expect it, for sure. How can I respawn? Or... oh, they're at spawn. You know what? How about I let you guys just deal with this? If you live, then you survive, and if you don't live, then it's fine. Because you're replaceable. This is the hard one here, the one with a rake or something like that. Oh, he just threw a grenade in my house. I thought it was gonna blow up tiles and just blow up the inside of the house. So are there any more zombies down here? It does not look like it. It's weird that they spawned there. I think they might not have spawned there and they fell there. Whenever I went to go get the star, I went off screen and they just went down the hole. But I'm not really sure how their pathfinding works, so I have no idea if that's what happened or not. And then this cave is going to be really nice, but I just want to make sure that I have a platform here so that way I can get out of it quickly. And I can jump out of all of this, right? Yeah, okay, that works. I don't have a magic mirror yet. I'm trying to get that as soon as possible, and then after that, getting out of caves isn't going to be too much trouble. And for this part, I'm just going to use a rope. Don't think there's anything in here. Okay, there we go. And then I can just get up here. Okay, so there's something back here. Any ore that I see, even like the ones that aren't going to be important later, is important now because I just have 1 armor, so it'll give me extra defense. As 1 armor is the worst in the game. Or I mean, I guess there's worse armor that don't give you defense, but they give you buffs. Like mage armor. Or that might not be a thing, that might just be in Skyrim. Because I've been playing that recently. I re-downloaded it yesterday on my Switch, and then I kind of talked about it last stream, I think, where I'm doing a challenge where I have no HUD, and my game audio is fully turned down. I wanted to see if this was anything, and it's not. And I just realized whenever I logged off the last stream, I had a mining potion, and I used it because I was mining on that stream, and whenever I quit the game, it took away the effect. And I accidentally drank that potion, I didn't mean to. But yeah, I can jump out of that. That one, I wasn't sure of because of how far it was. Yeah, I can also kind of just do that for certain sections if I get stuck. And I want to place that there, I think, would be best. And there's also that ore over there that I'm about to go grab. And it looks like iron, although I'm not really sure what each of the ore looks like because it's been a while. Yeah, that's iron. And there's tin right behind it. I do know what tin looks like because I grabbed some a while ago. On the other side of that cave. And then just mine these two and put in the platforms. By the way, I guess I should ask this on screen. Is Ultimate Alliance 3 any good? I played the original 2 when I was a lot younger on like the Wii, and I played 2 on the DS and the Xbox 360. And I really liked the first one. I didn't play enough of the second one to have an opinion on it. But I don't remember it being that interesting of a game to play. I just liked the characters that were in the game because I like Marvel Comics. It was based more off the comics and like the movies and things like that. And so I'm wondering if the new one's any good on the Switch. Because I've heard that it's decent. I haven't heard any like negative things about it before, but I really haven't heard much about the game. It's a Switch exclusive if I remember correctly, so kind of surprised that no one's been talking about it that much. Oh, traveling merchants here. Guess I stopped by at the right time. nothing too important. That would be good, but the thing is I'm gonna have armor that's better than that probably by the end of the stream. Or I don't know, because I plan on streaming for a while, but I don't know how long it'll be since I'm streaming much later than normal. Okay, so the second piece of tin, and then can I make the shoes? No, I can't. I'm pretty close though, I think. And that'll be the last piece I need for tin. I'm not gonna make like every armor and slowly go up. I'm gonna make it, like, usually I don't make tin armor because I usually have iron armor already, but because I'm playing an expert mode, I kind of want to be safe. And just equip the best armor I can find whenever I have it. If possible. Especially when the eye is gonna spawn. Either this stream or the next stream, depending on how long I stream. And I will be streaming Terraria tomorrow, because I want to have a day dedicated to Terraria, which is Wednesday. Today was supposed to be viewer battles, but I did them yesterday, and then no one showed up to the viewer battles that I did earlier. Although I would do them, if anybody wanted to do them now. I know this isn't going to be that entertaining to watch, me just digging a hole slowly going down and trying to think of things to talk about for a while until I get good enough material to be able to dig a hole faster, or at least defend myself on the surface decently and be able to explore. Okay, that didn't go where I wanted it to, but it will allow me to place stuff where I wanted it to go, so works out. And this is a large world, so I don't know if that increases the amount of distance between the underworld and the overworld or not, but if it does, that means that it's going to take even longer to get there. I don't plan on going inside of it today, because I'll just get one shot, but I do want to go pretty far down. Like, I might go to where there is lava, if I can reach there, because it's going to be a while before I get very far down. Like, right now, I'm still in a pretty dirt area, although I think I'm about to enter into the stone layer. Like, I mean a dirt-filled area, not a pretty dirt area. So the ores are going to be a lot rarer to find, and they're going to be a lot worse in the dirt than they are if you go a bit deeper. Which is why I used that one cave, but I eventually had to start mining down inside of that cave over here. And I was getting attacked by the tomb raiders from over here, because I was a bit too close to the desert biome so they could spawn. And those things just one-shot you, so... Or not one-shot, but two-shot, because they knock you down to 75 and you don't have enough regen. Or at least I don't. So I'll just die if I go over there. Yeah, I guess I can talk about Smash a bit. I saw that there was a new Infinite found. I don't know how new it was because I didn't see the date of the video. But I was watching, I think they were called like the Beefy Smash Dudes. I've seen one of their videos before, but I don't really watch them that much. I might start because they do seem pretty entertaining. And I saw that it was like a doubles, and it worked with Team Attack on, even though it looked like it didn't, because it was Bowser and Falco in the Infinite. And basically what they did was Bowser would grab and then Falco would shoot the laser. Bowser would have invincibility from grabbing the opponent, and it would allow the laser to hit the opponent, and then they'd be put into hit stun from the laser, and the laser has a decent amount of hit stun on it, so they couldn't really do much, and then Bowser was able to grab them again. And that was Infinite until Bowser wanted to like up throw or forward throw or something at the ledge. Well, I think his forward throw kills a bit faster than his back throw, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, that's not correct. And I also made this one really short, and this one as well, just to be safe. But yeah, it looks like that was not a stone layer, that was just kind of an early layer. See, whenever I got down to here, most of it was stone. There was a bit of dirt, in pockets, as you can see, but a lot of it was just stone. Whereas with this, it's been dirt pretty much all into this pocket of stone. And in case you're wondering why my character's name is Thanos, in case you saw that, it's because I made my character look like Thanos, but I don't have the clothes on that make it where you can see underneath the armor. I guess I can show it, if I remember the controls. So, there's the head, shirt, and pants. I made that off stream and then showed it in the first stream that I did, but I just thought it'd be interesting to make something that, like, looked like Thanos or something. I really don't know what I was thinking whenever I made it, but I kind of like it. I usually make just random characters and just go whatever, or with whatever I get, but I decided to make Thanos just to see if it was possible to do. I personally like Thanos. I liked Ultron a lot more, not in the movie, but in the comics I like Ultron as a villain, because I find him pretty interesting. And the movie could have been handled a bit better. But Ultron's usually a lot more, like, serious than he was in Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, he was much more sarcastic. And kind of seemed like a Spider-Man, or form of Ultron, where he's just saying a lot of jokes, and then the string thing. But usually he just tries to wipe out all of humanity, which is a bit more serious than trying to get Sokovia and throw it back at the Earth, like in Age of Ultron. That was his plan. And he apparently died, and I was kind of sad about that. Whenever Vision killed him, I thought maybe he had like another robot that he went into, but apparently that was like the last one. I guess he could still be a part of Vision or something. But I'd like to see him be brought back as a bit more like the comics Ultron. Because I definitely liked him much more there. And a bunch of the MCU movies actually got announced at Comic-Con, because that was kind of like this week and last week, so I did see that. Like, they have the Thor 4 and all of that kind of stuff. I did see Far From Home whenever it came out, so I do know what happens in that one. That's the... Or no, the last movie I saw was Toy Story 4. And I kind of liked it. A lot of people that I watched it with didn't like it, but I kind of liked it. I guess more than them. I don't think they disliked it, but they said it wasn't as good as the other ones. I thought it was much more memorable than Toy Story 2, although I don't think that's a bad movie. That could be because I saw it recently, but I remember a lot more, like, about the other movies as well, like Toy Story 1 and 3, and then 2. 2, they added, like, Jessie and the horse, and that was it. I don't even remember the horse's name. But yeah, I just watched it because it was a Pixar film, and I like Pixar films. I've kind of been watching a lot of animated movies recently, because YouTube just recommends animated movie reviews to me all the time for some reason. I guess because I watched one video about it and it kind of interested me, because I used to watch stuff about like the Pixar theory, so I'm sure that the algorithm just saw the word Pixar and then started recommending pretty much everything in existence to me. I haven't really found YouTube like recommendations to be that useful. Like, I haven't found something that I cared about, I guess, from YouTube recommendations. I haven't found some YouTuber that I had never seen before and wanted to start watching them through a random recommended video. Usually, like, the people that I watch, some other person has watched, or they're like really popular online or something, and then I'll see them interact with other people, and it just kind of starts like that, and then I'll see the people that they interact with. Because a lot of the streamers and YouTubers usually, or at least the ones that I watch play games, usually like play in a group. And so I'm usually following or subscribed to at least 2 or 3 of the members of the group. But I've always found it interesting because, like, sometimes whenever I'm looking at my own channel on YouTube, and I'll look at the recommendations for that to see just what channels are recommended to me there, I get the weirdest stuff. Like, I get recommended YouTube movies, free movies. Pretty much all the time. Like, there's this one animated Street Fighter movie or something that I got recommended to me just from watching my own video, kind of. Like, I was just watching it for 30 seconds to get a view or something. Because I used to do that all the time. I've stopped doing that recently and just focused more on streaming rather than focusing on YouTube and streaming. I still, like, send a video to YouTube once a day. I tried to do it at a regular time, but the last 2 days I've forgotten. Although, Monday I uploaded 3 videos, today I only uploaded 1. And I'll probably upload this stream and another stream tomorrow. Just so I can be back to normal. Oh wait, I'm gonna die if that thing comes back, I think. And I'm not ready for it, at least. But yeah, I found a crystal heart. I completely just didn't mention that. But I found that, used it to increase my HP to 120. So now I have more hit points. I think the nurse can move in now as well. But I don't have a house made for the nurse yet. Oh, is that gold? I just didn't even notice. 'Cause I'm used to playing with platinum. Your world just generates, and then there are certain ores that you get, and then if you get this type of ore, then the other type of ore doesn't spawn. Like, I know gold and platinum's one. I don't know the ones for the hard mode ores, but they have the exact same values, I believe. I think this bonus effect might be a bit different. But, like, in every world that I've played on console, I've gotten platinum, and then whenever I played on mobile, which was the first version of Terraria that I played, and it still hasn't changed at all, like, there hasn't been an update that increased it to 1.13 or anything, which is this version. I played with the gold world. I think that's because gold was the only one that would spawn, maybe, in that version. I don't really know much about the Terraria updates. I know that there's supposed to be a final update coming out pretty soon. I'm just gonna add a few things. But yeah, I'm actually at a really good spot with this cave now, so I should just be able to mine, and I don't have to dig straight down for a while. I can just focus on grabbing ores that I see. And I definitely prefer to do that rather than to dig down. But yeah, back to the YouTube recommendations. I also get recommended videos of that are kind of designed for younger kids, I guess, like 3 to 4. I don't really know why. I guess it's because one time, I just let a kid use my phone while, I was doing something, I don't remember what was going on, and I just let them watch YouTube on it. Like, I just turned on some video, I looked up, probably like children's nursery rhymes or something, and then just played the first video, so I'm sure that's in my recommended now. For that reason, although I've been trying to do not recommend on those, because I don't really care for watching them. I guess the latest, good animation, because the whole thing started from animated film, so I'm just gonna backtrack to that. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice. I was trying to put a torch on that wall, and then a boulder just was there. I want to see if I can see it on the replay. No, you can't even see it. I think maybe you can see the button. I'm a bit too far away from my stream replay to be able to see the button, but... Oh, I just heard a star drop. I'm gonna go grab that. It fell in the water. Again. How many fallen stars do I have? 2. But yeah, the best one that I've seen recently would probably be Into the Spider-Verse. Because I've rewatched that on Netflix. Recently. Because I didn't really like it the first time that I saw it. I mean, like, I didn't think it was a bad film, I just didn't like the animation. Because it was a bit stuttery. it was designed to be stuttery, I understand that, but I just didn't really like that aspect of the animation. I like the other stuff, like how the visuals looked, I guess. So if you paused it, I would like what I see there, but if you had it playing, then it would kind of like stutter, and I didn't really like that. And I still really don't. It's kind of distracting, to me at least. I'm sure not that many people notice it, unless they get bothered by it, or they appreciate it, or think it's cool. But I did like it, the film itself. I don't know if I would see the sequel, though. I mean, I guess because it's a Spider-Man film and I like Spider-Man, but I don't know. It wasn't like one of my top 10 films or anything like a lot of people seem to think it is. Like, I liked it. There are movies that I like a lot more, but I mean, I don't really even know what my top 10 films would be. I've been trying to watch a lot of movies, though, because I do like watching movies. You don't really have to do much, so I'm pretty sure everyone likes watching movies, or at least some movies. Like, there's genres that people don't like, myself included, but I find, like, with games, I can play pretty much anything, and as long as it's well made, I'll enjoy it. Like, I've played pretty much every type of genre, at least most that I can think of, except, I mean, every type of legitimate genre, like RPG, sports, racing, action, choose your own adventure kind of games, just like the older PC types of games, things like that. As long as they're like somewhat well made, then I'll enjoy them. Like gaming compilations, although I haven't played a gaming compilation in a while, because I don't really have any, I guess. Maybe the NES Classic, but I'm not sure if that counts. And I've also been trying to play older games. I've talked about this a few times with my Wii. I haven't found any new ones yet, but I kind of plan on getting some. And then there are some games that I want to try on the Wii that I never tried. Kind of like Wario Land Shake It. I've heard that that's a pretty underrated game. And I like the Ruins music in Ultimate. So, and I've seen some gameplay. It does look kind of interesting. I've heard that that's like a pretty underrated game. And I just never gotten it because I pretty much just played Smash Bros. Brawl and Mario Strikers Charged and Mario Kart, I think, on the Wii. Like the only games I played. And I only played Brawl because Sonic was in it. So I also played Sonic Colors, Unleashed, and Heroes on the Wii. And the Heroes was a GameCube game, and I had a GameCube controller for the Wii. Now, because I sold my Wii and all the games a while ago for like $20, which I kind of regret. There are some games that I wouldn't play still, but there were a lot of games I didn't finish that I had, like the Super Mario Galaxy. I never finished either one of them, and I had both of them. Now I just have Super Mario Galaxy 1, and I don't think I finished Mario Kart Wii either, but I have that one. Like, I have Galaxy, Wii Sports, Mario Kart, and Brawl, and then for GameCube games, I just have Melee. And I just, like, the main reason that I bought the Wii was to play Melee and Brawl, because I kind of miss playing the older Smash games, and then I kind of just have been getting a few games outside of them. I kind of want to get the Legend of Zeldas for them, because I used to not really like the Legend of Zelda series at all. I don't really know why, I just didn't like it, and then I played Breath of the Wild, and that pretty much just changed my mind on that, so I kind of want to try Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess. But those games are still, like, regularly priced games, pretty much, so kind of hard to find them. Although I have been looking a bit for them. I don't know about getting New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I already have the New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and I'm pretty sure that should cover me for New Super Mario Bros. If not, I also have Mario Maker 2, so I can just use that instead. and make infinite levels. I can even just look up the levels that were in New Super Mario Bros. Wii if I wanted to, and then just make them there. I guess Super Mario Galaxy 2 maybe. I've heard that that game's a really long game, actually. I'm sure the Legend of Zelda ones are as well, but I've heard that that one's much longer than Mario Galaxy 1. Unless you're like 100%ing it, which I think you have to play as Luigi through the entire game a second time to 100% Galaxy 1. And I don't plan on doing that, I just plan on playing the first time through as Mario, and then that being it. But I think this cave is out of resources, so I'm going to try to head back up, although this yellow slime might pose a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I'm going to die if I'm not careful. Oh, I'm just going to die, yeah. There wasn't really much I could do there. Like, I tried to move, but I ran into the rock, and then the slime pushed me into the rock. And then the slime, because it pushed me when it was jumping, it moved inside of my model. I don't have that much invincibility frames after being hit, so then that kind of just happened. Oh, and I get a topaz oak, so that's actually really good. Where's the slot that I put this? Oh, there. Like, cause I know that there's a special slot for it. Okay, so we get gold, we get tungsten, and iron, and tin. And I'm pretty sure that's everything I can make for now. At least everything that's somewhat important. So what types of gold things can I make? I can make a gold short sword, which I don't want to, and a gold bow. I don't really need a bow. I kind of plan on mainly using swords, and then eventually magic. So that's probably going to be hard mode whenever I start using magic. Because if you use magic before hard mode, then it's just terrible. There's pretty much no point. And then I'm just going to start working on iron gear, I guess. And then I can make tin greaves as well. So let me see what type of set bonus I get from this. Set bonus 2 defense, and then how much is this iron helmet 2, and this one's 2? Yeah, the iron helmet would currently be useless. But I'll probably make a full iron set, so. I need to sell both of these. I was hoping that I could make a golden pickaxe and mine a bit faster. What's my current? 12, and then this one's 12 as well. But this one has a 20% damage buff, so this one's technically stronger, but because of my damage buff, it's stronger. Or it's the same strength, so it doesn't really matter which one I choose. And then I'm guessing I need wood for an axe. I have a tungsten pickaxe, but I have a tin axe, and I would like to get a new axe, so that way I will be able to chop down trees pretty quickly. Because even with the tin axe, it's going to be somewhat slow. Pretty much until you get a chainsaw. I'm just so used to all of like the powered weapons like the chainsaw and the drill and things like that, that whenever you start a new game without that kind of stuff, then it just becomes really long and tedious. Like, you can literally just like right trigger on a tree and it will be chopped down with a chainsaw, but with the axe, like you saw there, it took a minute for it to work. And then I also need to make a hammer. I don't think I have one. Although that's not really of importance on its speed. I'll eventually get a hammer, I guess, so I won't bother. Oh, and I got a godly tungsten axe, so that would be really good on my sword, but it doesn't really work for an axe because the axe, I don't think any of the tools actually, oh, I almost just sold that. I don't think any of the tools need that kind of enhancement. No, not that. I need to put the helmet in here for now, and I will be putting this in here, and also this. I'm eventually going to need to sort out my inventories and stuff, and make a storage area, I think. But yeah, I actually need to, I'm not going to go grab my stuff that I dropped from the slimes, because there's not really a point. I'm just going to keep digging down, because I found all the ore that was in there. I mean, all that I could see, at least. merchants departed. Or no, it's arrived actually. Must have departed whenever I wasn't looking. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a mud block there. It'll blend in, so it's fine. Okay, and then we just need to keep going down. And I'm just putting that torch there, just to make sure that the pattern's still kept. Because even though that area is lit up, it's not in the pattern. And I need to be careful on this part, because if I start falling, then it could be bad. This is going to be a bit of a stretch for these two platforms. I don't know if I'll be able to... Oh no, that's not a stretch. I was talking about the ones above it. Or I'm talking about the thing of the ones above it, not this one. Now this is going to be the kind of risky part, I guess, because there's nothing underneath me, so I'm going to have to place these platforms pretty quickly. Make sure that they're spaced properly, and see, like I messed up there, but I can just put that there to fix it. And then I can just break these two torches and put this one here, so that way it stays in the pattern. And I think that should be fine. So I just need a torch here, and that should do it. And then I'm going to put 2 here for this platform. It's not going to be spaced out like the maximum distance, but it's going to be spaced out enough. And now, like, this part is going to take a while as well, because I'm going to have to fall down a bit. Or I actually can't fall down, I'm going to have to just waste a lot of platforms. But I do have a plan for that part. And then just go down here. Because there's no wall on the back, I have to place them while they're connected to each other. Like that. And I guess here's my stuff while I'm over here. I could just kill this jellyfish as well. Oh, so they get some little effect around them whenever you're near them, I guess. In expert mode. Because I don't remember that being a thing whenever I played the normal mode. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on this, so I can shoot down at the jellyfish. Oh, and it becomes invincible? That's actually kind of interesting. Thanos was cut down the middle by a blue slime. That's the end of Infinity. Or not Infinity War, but Endgame. I don't know how I'm still mixing up those two movies, but it's happening. So I think that goes there, and then one here, so let me just test. I actually can't test because of all of these here. This one is going to be a stretch for sure. Yeah, it's not connecting. I need to go 1 block down with these ones, I think. Yeah, and then I have just enough height. And then 1 block down with this one, and I think that's all that I'll need to do. Yeah, because that works fine. And then I'm just going to put the torches on the platforms for the ones that are floating. Because I don't have a wall to put them against. Okay, so that's a block up, actually. So I'm going to have to put it there. See, I don't really know why this is still part of the desert. The desert, like, starts all the way over here, and then it just goes all the way out to here. Unless there's a jungle, in which case, then the jungle interrupts that. And it's so weird how all of those types of biomes work. And I'm pretty sure, like, this is desert underground music. Now it's switching to regular underground. Okay, so that goes to the second peg pretty much, so that means I probably need to put that about there for this platform. mean, it works, but... I mean, if I just raise this one up, then it'll have pretty much the same effect. And I'm gonna raise it up to 2, although I place 3. Yeah, that's pretty much perfect in terms of, like, the jump height. And then one just goes here. Okay, so we've made progress. Now we're back on the ground, and I don't have to do anything like that again. I can just do what I was originally doing and just place one underneath me like this. I do see that tungsten on the left, and I'm going to go grab that after I put down this torch. I didn't notice it earlier, but I just noticed it. Oh, and now it's raining. This reminds me a lot of Minecraft. In Minecraft, you can hear the rain when you're at bedrock. And you're, like, super far underneath the ground. Like, away from where you built the staircase or whatever you used to get underground. You can still hear it raining. Although now I can't hear it. So maybe it was just a glitch. And I'm not going to pick up these wooden platforms whenever I'm done. Or I'll pick up one so that way I can have 2. I have an even number. Because all of the platforms that I'm placing down are 2 blocks wide, so if there's just an odd number, then it's going to bug me. Or, I mean, it wouldn't really bug me, but I'm sure it bugs someone. I usually don't mind things like that. Oh, I didn't mean to dig that far down. I think that might be too far. Yeah, that was gonna be too far if I didn't fix it. So now we have another gap, and I'm pretty sure that's the last gap, but it also has water, so that means I'm gonna have to drain it. Which is about as fun as it sounds. Because that just means I have to dig a really long cave and have all the water move into that cave. And that's going to be an air pocket there. Oh, I have to be careful with that sand because it actually almost killed me. Now I don't really have to worry about air pockets, so that's good. This isn't that much water, so it's not too bad. And I'm actually going to have to dig a bit further down in a minute, just to have the water go into a hole that's far away from the hole that I'm making. I'm pretty sure there's another cave here, so I'm just going to drain it in that. Yeah, it's a water cave as well, so it should fit perfectly. I can't see anything down here. I'm pretty much... I might drown. Maybe. No, I can actually jump up to there. Okay. So I just want to see what this is. Yeah, that's going to actually cut underneath the hole, so that just means that I made this minor problem into a major problem, and also combine it with a major problem. Or, I guess, combine a minor and a major problem together with the water. Because now I have to drain all of this water instead of that small amount of water and this amount of water. So it's really the same amount, but it's still going to be a bit annoying. And I'm going to have to make a much longer tunnel for all of this to go in. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm just going to go a few blocks this way, and then I will dig a hole and then go all the way around and kind of make like a snake and just have the water drain inside of that. Because that will also allow me to have dug down enough for the water to not cause any problems. Yeah, as you can see, the sand does like 34%, and then I'm also drowning, so it's not that great of a combination. And there's a lot of sand down here for some reason. I think this world in particular just has a pretty large amount of sand compared to other worlds. the desert thing still applies. Like, the desert biome stretches out really far in the ground. I think most of the biomes do. It's just really apparent with the desert and, like, the snow and the crimson and things like that, because they're much more of an inconvenience than the regular biome that you normally spawn in. Or at least the one that I normally spawn in. Like, I've spawned in a snow biome once, I think, and that was pretty much the only time that I've spawned in a biome that's not, I guess, plains. I don't really know what type of biome it is. Okay, I just made a big problem that I can hopefully fix. Okay, I did. I didn't know if I could fix that or not. But yeah, that could have been where I added in more water to the water that I'm trying to drain, but I think that that's not going to happen. The good thing about the water is that it's at least realistic to where it won't just move over to this side and then make that water rise up. It will be at the same level as it is in there. So it doesn't really add into it if there is a leak. If that did happen, then that'd be pretty bad. And I don't want to drain the water into this cave, because I'm pretty sure that cave's going to cut underneath the hole. So let me just see if I can line it up. Yeah, it looks like it's going to cut slightly. Or maybe not. I can't really see from here if it can or not. Oh yeah, that's sand, so I need to move out of the way. Because I don't want to take 60% for having sand fall on top of me. But yeah, if I had like a tunnel to the underworld or whatever, then I could just drain the water there and it turn into obsidian on the top layer, and then all the rest of the water just disappears. So it's really good, or like really convenient for getting rid of water. Oh no, I'm gonna drown here. Okay, I got some bubbles, that saved me. That sand, like, really messed me up, because I couldn't make an air pocket inside of the sand because of the water. And then I'd also taken a lot of damage from the sand. Like, I had full health pretty much, and then I got hit by the sand, and that knocked me down to about 40, and then I started drowning on top of that. But you regen health very slowly at the beginning of the game, so that's kind of the main problem I have with losing health, is that I don't really regen it back until like 2 or 3 minutes after I get hit. And in expert mode, if you have 0 health and you walk into a room, then you kind of just die, depending on what's inside of the room. If it's a slime, you'll probably live. And I'm talking about like the early game, like what I'm currently in. If it's a slime, you'll probably live, but most of the time it's like a zombie with the extendo range thing that is very annoying. It makes it where you can only pretty much shoot them or throw a boomerang at them, because my broadsword doesn't have enough range to be able to connect to them. This cave is out of the way, so it's going to be really convenient for draining water in. I'm pretty sure that drained most of the water, although I can go check. I don't know if the map's updating or not. I can actually drain water down to this part of this cave. Just as long as it's not in the way of what I'm trying to dig, then it's fine. And I also need to make sure that I can get out of here. So let me see how much water is left in the way. I don't think that much is. It's just because it's part of this, like, section, and I have to drain pretty much everything that's above it, and then it as well. Because of how the water works. But I could actually drain some in here. As long as I control, like, this section, then it should be fine. and it shouldn't be able to pass, like, this section of that water, or of that cave. But you can see how much water we drained just from this area, because I'm pretty sure this area right here was filled with water whenever I'd started draining it. So I am making a lot of progress, but it's just slow. How much damage did that do? I saw 20, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't 20. I don't think I was at full health though, so I can't really be sure. Yeah, this thing's doing 20, but that's because it's a red slime. Red slimes do a bit more damage than blue. Like, blue and greens, they're the most common, and they don't really do that much damage in comparison to the red and, like, yellow and purple. And then mother slimes, I think, are probably the most annoying ones that I'll run into in the early game. They're probably, like, the most annoying enemies as well. I guess some of the stuff in the dungeon's gonna be fun. Because I'm just gonna die constantly. Like in non-expert mode, whenever I'm in the hard mode dungeon, I die a lot. Just because all the enemies there do a pretty significant amount of damage compared to most hard mode enemies. So, whenever I'm in the hard mode dungeon, that's gonna be a pretty difficult part of this playthrough, and then also just the regular dungeon will have high damaging enemies. The underworld won't be too bad. At least I don't think it is. I usually don't die in the underworld that much, unless I just get stuck in a place and I can't get out from the imps and the demons. The imps are the most annoying because they can go inside of... Like, the imps would be able to spawn anywhere on the screen, so if they were in the top left of the screen where that torch is, kind of pointing to it with my crosshair, but I can't really reach over there, then they would be able to hit me with a fireball that would catch me on fire and probably do like 100 damage per second, judging by how the expert mode difficulty or damage output scales. It would do that, and then it would also hit me with a fireball and do probably like 40 or 50%. So it would hurt a lot, and then I wouldn't be able to reach him with anything because I don't have a magic weapon currently. Although if I did have a magic weapon, it would depend on the type, but I could most likely shoot through the wall. If not, I'd have to walk all the way around and then get to it quickly. Probably hit it a few times with my sword and then it move, because it will teleport around, and I have to approach it quickly because I don't want it to teleport. It probably would still be able to, though. I think here is probably the best spot. I think I might have to go to this layer when I'm currently at. Yeah, I actually do. So. Or no, because there's this platform that I can't see because it's behind my head, but I can just jump to it. So I could probably go down to here and jump. Or I can even just stand on the ground and jump. That's the minimum, or I mean maximum distance is right here. So I definitely want to do that, so that way I can save platforms. If I run out of platforms, it's not going to be too bad, because all I have to do is just jump to go back to the top. I have to jump a few times, but whenever I get the magic mirror, then it'll be instantaneous. So. I want to see what time of day it is. If it's night, I might farm for some cash or some drops. Although I don't really know what I need at the moment from enemies. Outside of bosses, obviously. And the bosses are going to have expert bags, because I'm in expert mode, I forgot about that. So that means that all of the bosses are going to have, like, special item that they drop for me defeating them. That's going to be pretty powerful compared to regular items. I don't think all of them are that useful in terms of just like the overall game of Terraria, but at the beginning they're pretty much all useful. Like they each have some sort of value for starting at the beginning of the game. It's LT to put graph, not RT. So can I make anything out of iron? I can make these greaves. Iron's going to be the next set of armor. And it's going to be one that I have for a while, I think, sorry. But I think it's going to be one that I keep around for a while because it's just really easy to find iron. Especially at like the beginning of the game and everything. And mana crystal, oh I forgot it was 3 stars, I thought it was 5. So that's another mana crystal, and now I have more of that. That basically has no point now, but later it's just going to make things a bit easier. Because I won't have to collect stars. If I collect all the stars before I enter hard mode, then I don't have to worry about all the hard mode nighttime enemies. And hard mode and extra mode are 2 different things, in case you don't know much about this game. So, there's this boss called the Wall of Flesh that you basically have to go to the underworld, find a demon carrying a guide voodoo doll, and kill it, but make sure not to kill it above lava. And then once you've done that, you can go to the underworld. Usually you make a very long stretch of land, and it's just completely flat, so that way you can run across it. And you drop the voodoo doll into lava, and it kills the guide, because it's a guide voodoo doll. And then, after that, you'll spawn the Wall of Flesh, and it basically is just a giant wall with an eyeball, a mouth, and another eyeball. The eyeballs shoot lasers, and the mouth just hurt you whenever they run into you. They also have tentacles. Some of the tentacles are kind of like worms, but most of them just stay attached to the wall, and then you can shoot them as well, you don't have to. And you just have to lower the boss's HP by hitting them in the eyes or mouth. And then, if they touch you at all, or if they shoot you with the lasers, then it does damage you. And then once you've defeated that, you get a special hammer called like the Potent Hammer, and you also enter hard mode, which basically just makes it where enemies that are a lot harder to fight spawn, and they do a lot more damage. They have a lot more health and a lot more armor. They also have a lot more like rare items that are introduced in the game, I guess, and a lot of stronger items will come from the enemies. There's like a bunch of these things underground in the Crimson, or in the Corruption, because on my world it's Corruption. In previous worlds it's been the Crimson. The Corruption is this area over here where I stopped exploring, and they spawn pretty much anywhere underground, but they're really common in the Crimson and Corruption, depending on which type of world you get. And you hit them with the Potent Hammer and they spawn rare ore, and then you just get better stuff. That's how you get drills and everything. So right now, I haven't defeated the Wall of Flesh, so I'm in the early game is what I call it. And then, it's pretty much just called pre-hard mode, I think it's the proper term, but I just call it early game. And then, whenever you defeat the Wall of Flesh and you enter hard mode, then that's like mid-game. And then, pretty much whenever you defeat a Plantera, which is another boss, I would consider that like in-game. Maybe defeating the Golem right before Plantera. That might be the introduction to the in-game, which goes like Golem, Plantera, and then you have, I forget its name, it's a newer boss compared to the rest of the bosses in the game. It wasn't in the mobile version, I do know that, and it's one that you get from fishing. Duke Fish Run, that's the name. That's like the third boss, and then I think the one after that's just the Moon Lord. But by then you pretty much have all of the in-game gear. Oh, I got a whoopee cushion. That's actually really useful, because then I can make a fart in a fart in a bottle with a cloud in a bottle, and that just allows me to have another jump. So it's more movement options. I really need Hermes boots and flippers in the early game, or not Hermes, but just the speed boots. I don't know what they're called in the first form. I think the Hermes boots is after you've upgraded them, but I really need them to be able to run around quickly, because they just make it where you move very fast. And then the flippers can make a scuba gear suit, but I just need the flippers to be able to swim, because that just allows me to jump in the water as long as I'm inside of water. So I basically just have infinite jumps as long as I'm in water, and I don't have to worry about the height of the wall. Because, like, this looks like a jump I normally wouldn't be able to do, but you can jump a bit higher in water. And that's pretty much the max height of my jump, is from the floor down there to up here. And the flippers, I think, also give you a bit more movement speed inside of the water, because I'm moving a bit slower than whenever I walk around on the ground inside of the water. Not much slower, but I can kind of tell the difference. So yeah, I gotta drain some more water here, just to get it out of the way of the mine. I actually cleared out that area to be able to spot if I was going to run into the mine a bit easier. I guess why I brought it down a bit further. Okay, I couldn't see anything. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm still being interrupted by the water there. So I need to make it where that doesn't happen. I mean, there's another way to do this that would be a lot simpler. But I kind of just want to do it this way. So that way I don't have to worry about the water. And I can kind of just keep it in a place where I can move it around in case I need water later. I don't really use water that much in the game, though. It's mainly just an inconvenience that happens underground most of the time that you start a mine. Like, I'm pretty sure there's water on pretty much every... Like, if you dug straight down at pretty much any point in the world, I'm pretty sure at some point you would run into a pocket of water. And it's kind of annoying depending on the size of the pocket. But yeah, the easy way to get rid of the water... I guess I can start working on that now, because I really don't have to worry about it. And this was actually something that I learned about in my last playthrough of Terraria. I didn't know about this being a thing. And I did it a few moments ago to kind of... I did it over there, so I'm just going to do it over here. And it just makes clearing out water a bit easier, and that's just building a wall. I kind of forgot about it, and then I remembered it, and so I just kind of wanted to finish doing what I was doing there, but then I just decided this would be much easier, and be much more of a somewhat entertaining stream if I can get rid of all of this water. So now I only have to worry about the water that's behind this wall. And I can actually just drain it into this cave over here that I just found. Which I definitely want to do. Although I don't want to have to deal with those red slabs at the moment. Oh, that's a lot of tungsten. Okay, that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be much more dangerous to do. But there's gold back there, there's tungsten up here, and there's a lot of tungsten, so I kind of want to grab it, because I'm pretty sure tungsten's a bit better than iron. Yeah, it is, because that's got the bonus 20%. So if I can just skip the entire iron armor section and just go to the tungsten section, then I would definitely do that. And then if I can skip that and go into the gold section, which I think is going to be the best armor I can get at the moment. First I have to make a pickaxe and a sword, though, out of gold. That's kind of the main priority, because the pickaxe makes it where I can mine things much faster than I currently can. And if I don't drink this potion, then I'm going to die in a second. So, or no, I could have just done that, but it's still going to help my regeneration out. I am missing a lot of health, so it's not going to hurt to use the potion now. Yeah, if I can just skip any type of armor, then I definitely need to do that. And I need to grab the gold pickaxe, because it's the best pickaxe I think that you can mine underground in pre-hard mode, which is the game, the mode that I'm currently in. And then same thing with the gold. You can eventually craft stuff out of boss loot for the early mode bosses, like there's the thing inside of the corruption, I think it's called the Devourer of Worlds. Or something for the corruption. For the Crimson, it's the Brain of Cthulhu, I do know that, because it reminds me of the first boss of the game that you should encounter at least, is the Eye of Cthulhu. That's kind of what I'm prepping for currently. I don't think I'm ready for the Eye of Cthulhu, currently. Maybe if I was in non-expert mode, I could defeat it, but in expert mode, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need full gold armor. And that spawns after a certain amount of days in the world, or if you have your HP increased a bit more than I currently do. I think it's like 2 or 3 hearts, and I only have 1 life crystal used, so I don't have to worry about it at the moment. But I do need to prepare for it by increasing my damage output for sure. I think damage output's going to be a big thing. The armor points is not going to be that bad, but the faster that I can get rid of the eye, it's going to be much better than having to deal with the eye. Which in most scenarios you would think that you want to get armor, but I just don't want to have to deal with the boss. And then I can also get the NPCs to help a bit by, like, blowing up their walls and making it where they're forced to be outside and fighting the eye. That could also result in their deaths, but it's not that bad because they'll respawn eventually. It takes them a while, but they'll respawn. The faster that, or like the more DPS that I can get on the eye, the better, pretty much. And I believe your damage output is slightly reduced. Like, I think the enemies have a lot more armor in expert mode. I know they have a lot more HP. And, like, if I had fire arrows, that's probably going to help. So I probably will end up making a gold bow for fire arrows. Or if I can get any other better type of arrow. Fire arrows just do constant damage, so that's why they're kind of important against the eye. The eye also drops really good, ore. You can make a bow and an axe, if I remember correctly, out of the ore that it drops, which is Crimnite. And then if you defeat either the Crimson or the Corruption boss, then you get some material from it, including the Crimnite ore, I believe is what drops from them as well. And you also get another material that you can use to make weapons and armor that aren't like the... I think one's a hammer axe and the other one is something a bit different, but I don't remember what exactly drops. Or not drops, but what you can make. I really haven't played Terraria other than that one stream whenever I got back, or whenever I started this stream. Or not this stream, but this playthrough of Terraria, and then whenever I did my, it's like Season 2 of Terraria, that was the last time I had played before then, so I don't really remember much about early game, because I focus most on mid-game in hard mode, and then worked at the end game once I was at that phase of the game. Which the end game is going to be a lot harder than in normal mode. Normal mode is kind of difficult, it's not too bad though. It's pretty much like playing Minecraft in hard mode, where it's more challenging than the easier versions, but the easy versions aren't that difficult, and the hard mode version's not that difficult. Like, playing on normal mode at the beginning of the game, in the early game, it's pretty much like playing Minecraft in peaceful. Like, that's kind of the difficulty that you have. You might die sometimes from, like, fall damage, or in Minecraft it'd be fall damage, although in Terraria it'd be like the boss fights, you might die there a few times, but it's not too bad. It depends on what playthrough you're on. Like, if you've already beaten Terraria once and you die to the Eye of Cthulhu in non-expert mode, and you haven't played in expert mode or anything like that, then it's kind of understandable. But if you've played in expert mode, or if you've already beaten the game, you've beaten the Moon Lord pretty much, is the end of the game, then there's pretty much no reason for, oh man, that just messed everything up. We're gonna have to drain some more water. I really should have just put blocks underneath this, shouldn't I? Oh, and that was a stone block as well. Luckily I'm not stuck underneath there, because I got the climbing claws. But yeah, I'm just gonna use this wall strategy, where I just use the walls to block off water, because that works really well. Otherwise you can see this water that I got rid of earlier is back. Oh wait, that's more water. I actually don't want to deal with this water. So I'm just going to do that. And I'll have to get some of the water, but it's not that bad. Could have been much worse. And then I just do like that, and that should be all the water here cleared. And now we have this next section. And I can still get out of here, right? I'm just making sure. Yeah, I can. Alright, I didn't do that jump fully, but there we go. I should be paying more attention to that, because if I can't get out of here, then that's not that great. Also, that interaction there was something that I like about this game. It's not super noticeable, but the light from the torch gets blocked by those blocks there, so it's not lit up still. I mean, a lot of games do that, but not all of them. Like, there are some games where if you put down a light source, you can put something in front of it and it still have light going through. But in this game, if you put at least a non-transparent block, then it won't work. Which, if it's a transparent block, then it makes sense, but yeah, and then I can just do that. And that takes care of all of the water. I could have drained all of this water and like all of this water and everything, and that would have taken much longer. Like, I definitely would not have been finished with all of the draining by now, but because I did it the faster way, then it works out a lot better. But yeah, I played Terraria for like 3 or 4 years, I think. No, I've actually been playing it for much longer. That's probably been like 6 years, and I just realized that was the thing. I played it on, I think, whenever the latest mobile update first came out. Not one that like fixed any bugs if there was an update like that, but I mean like the 1.12, I guess, is what version the mobile's running on, if I had to guess. Whenever that first came out, I think is whenever I started playing Terraria. Although I watched it for a while before then. And I just never thought about trying something like it. And I'm gonna do it again here, where you just block off the wall, and then you can just clear the water that's on the side of the wall that you're on. Which is much more convenient. Yeah, I remember I played Terraria a very short amount of time after I first started playing Minecraft. Or not very short, but like maybe like 1 or 2 years after I started playing Minecraft. So I had known about the game whenever, or if, probably a few months after I started playing Minecraft, because I played Minecraft probably 6 or 7 years ago, if I had to guess. On the Pocket Edition. I didn't play the console edition until probably like 5 years ago on the Xbox 360. Or at least that's when I owned the console edition to play it. I had played it before at like my friend's house or something like that, but I didn't own an Xbox 360 until probably then. And then I got an Xbox One S whenever that came out, and got the Minecraft bundle of that. Because I really like the game. I like it much more than this game, but this game's not a bad game. Like, this is probably one of my favorite games as well. It's just, I have a lot more memories with Minecraft than I do with Terraria. I don't think they should be compared a lot, but I do compare them a lot anyway. Terraria is something that's comparable more to, like, Stardew Valley. Which I didn't play Stardew Valley enough to like it, I guess. I got some star fruits. I played it for probably until like the 2nd or 3rd in-game year, and ever since then I just haven't played it. I've just been playing other games. I still have it on my Switch installed. Like, I still have the world that I made, or not world, but farm, I guess, because you don't really make a world. But that game's much more about, like, NPC interactions and stuff. In this game, it's much more like an RPG with sandbox elements, whereas Minecraft's sandbox with minor RPG elements, like, very small, unless you count mods, in which case it depends on what type of mod you're looking at. But they're not that comparable. Like, the main thing that is comparable between them is the fact that you mine, you craft, and you survive. Outside of that, I would say they're pretty different, because in Terraria, there's like a lot more stuff to do, actually. Minecraft's a lot more of an open-ended game, I guess, where it depends on what you want to do, on how fast the game goes, whereas in Terraria, there's kind of an end goal of beating the Moon Lord. Obviously, once you've done that, there's pretty much nothing to do unless you want to do some in-game challenges yourself. In Minecraft, you just defeat the Ender Dragon, and that's the entirety of the RPG section. And that's, like, not that far. Like, that's pretty much the only boss fight that I would say is not optional, but even then, it's still optional. And Terraria, to, like, progress in the game to the point where you have the best material, you have to defeat the Moon Lord. Whereas in Minecraft, you don't even have to defeat the Ender Dragon to have the best armor in the game. Which is something I've never really understood. I started thinking about it recently, and it doesn't really make much sense. Like, when you think of the other dimensions, there's really not much of a reason to go there after your first visit. Unless you're wanting to farm stuff there. Like, at the Nether, you farm XP with, either blaze farms, pigment farms, or just mining quartz. And then you can make a pigment farm for gold. You can also just turn a zombie spawner into a drown spawner by making them fall in water, and then get gold from that, because drowns drop gold bars. They don't drop the ingots like the pigment do. So it's a bit faster. And also, if you have looting 3, it's really common to get gold. But then you also have the blaze farms, which is pretty much the only farm that is exclusive to the Nether. Because the pigment farm is just a gold farm, and you can always just use drowns, as I said. But even the blaze farms aren't that useful. Because once you've made Eyes of Ender, then, like, I guess if you wanted to make a mass potion production area, then you could use blaze rods to make a bunch of brewing stands. And then also to power the brewing stands. Which is a change I don't really understand. I guess it just makes blaze rods a bit more valuable, but they're still somewhat worthless. Outside of the Eyes of Enders. Oh, I'm dead. But if you don't know, those statues will actually spawn enemies if they're powered by circuits. In Terraria, there's circuits. In Minecraft, there's redstone. I guess that's something that's kind of similar, although not the same, really, at all. Like, they're similar because you think of, like, electricity and, like, wires and cables and stuff with redstone and the circuits and stuff in Terraria. Outside of that, they're nothing alike. They behave a lot differently. But if the statues are powered by anything like a lever or a pressure plate, then they will spawn whatever the statue is, depending on if there is something of what the statue is depicting in the game. Because there are certain statues that aren't based off of anything in the game. Oh, I didn't mean to shoot the goldfish. I wanted to shoot the raincoat zombie. Oh, I thought it was dead. But yeah, there are the stone granite golems, I guess. Not really stone, but granite golems that can spawn, and that's what that was a statue of. I thought about picking up the statue, but I didn't really want to approach it in case it spawned something, and then I saw that there was ore behind it, so I knew I had to approach it. I didn't think it would spawn anything, but there is a pressure plate next to it that I think set off a dart trap or something. And it was right next to the statue, so it spawned it. But yeah, this is actually much better than the iron equivalent, I'm pretty sure. The problem with swapping armor like this a lot is, or hold on, let me compare, yeah, that gives me +1 defense, is that you lose the set bonuses. Obviously with the 10, it doesn't really matter that much, because the 10 just gives you a bonus 2 defense, but the 1 is just a bonus 1 defense. So, if you can do something that gets past that, past that effect, I guess, kind of like how with the 10, I made sure that it gave me more defense or equal defense to the tungsten. So I made sure whenever I switched that out, it went from 7 to 8 with this. Without this, it would be 7 if I had the 10 one still on. So it was an upgrade. And I wanted to sell this. I couldn't remember what I was trying to sell here. I was wondering if I could click stack cash. I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I won't be using the iron stuff. I mean, I guess I could put it on now just to replace the tin stuff because it looks a bit nicer. And there. Okay, so now we have a gold pickaxe. I would have done like a gold sword, but I wanted to make sure I have a gold pickaxe first, because that just increases my mining speed to much faster than what it was. I think I had an iron pickaxe, or no, I had tungsten before, so it's not going to be that much more, I guess. I didn't see the pickaxe power percent. The higher that percentage, the faster that you mine. Same thing with like axe power. I just didn't see it before, and I don't have the numbers memorized, but I know that gold is better than tungsten, so. Oh, it spawned a boulder, it didn't spawn a granite golem. Yeah, as you can see, I did not land on the pressure plate, so I'm safe. Yeah, I just want to go ahead and pick that up so it doesn't spawn anything. If I had, like a wrench or something, I think I could pull out the pressure plate. You'd be able to see the, wiring. It actually blends in with the background, which is something I like. You can't see it unless you have a wrench or some kind of a wire item thing equipped, like wire base, kind of like a pressure plate or a lever. If you have that in your hand, not equipped, but in your hand, then you'll be able to see wires. I'm pretty sure there's something that you can buy or make that makes it where you can see wires without having to have that in your hand, but it makes it where the wires basically aren't on the screen all the time, which is kind of nice if you're trying to look at something without the wires in your way. Especially if you have a bunch of like overlapping different colored wires, because there are different colored wrenches that spawn different colored wires, and that just allows you to place wires on top of each other without them connecting. Which is useful for portals. Portals are pretty much the only things that I use the wiring for. A lot of the statues, or I mean I guess heart statues are something that's pretty important. But actually, you know what, I actually need to, or I'm saying actually a lot, but I need to find honey. Because if I can get a bucket of honey early on, then I think I can make that thing that I made for the Moonlord fight in the normal mode on my last Terraria playthrough that I streamed. I made something that basically made it where the Moonlord did damage to me, but I was able to regen it pretty much instantly. Or regen it instantly. Not regen it, but I was able to do that instantly, so it's basically like it didn't even affect me at all. If I could have that in, because you can make that in the early game for sure, because it just requires a bucket of honey. All you have to do is just get the honey from the hive, and you just have to find the hive to get the honey, and not awaken the queen bee, because if I awaken the queen bee, I might die. Then I could probably take on the eye, unless it did enough damage to be able to one-shot me. Even then I can make an iron skin potion once I get a brewing table thing set up. As you can see, I'm far enough now where it's mostly stone. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, most of the stuff that I'm standing on or looking at is going to be stone with dirt mixed in. Whereas whenever I was like up here, it was all dirt. Then there was a mixture of stone. Then it was still kind of dirt. And this is when it started to become stone, but there was like sand and dirt mixed in a lot as well. Now it's pretty much just pure stone, and that's like the best layer for finding at least common ore. Common to semi-rare. Like, you can find gold and stuff. Gold's probably going to be the rare ore, I guess. And you can find that in the top layers, it's going to be much more rare than if it's on the middle to bottom layers. Because this is probably the middle layer. There's also, like, a lava section, and then after the lava, or I guess a lava layer, not really a lava section. After that lava section, there's the underworld. And it's not a lava section because it just has, like, a lava pool all the way around it. It's just has a lot of lava inside of it. It's pretty much, I think it's mainly because the underworld is directly underneath it. Is why it's like it is. As you can see, like, the tungsten ore takes me a minute to mine it because I'm using the gold pickaxe, but it's not as slow as it was with the tungsten. Alright, it's taking me a while because it's the ore, is what I meant to say. With the stone, it mines much faster because it's just stone. For some reason, they made it where ore has a bit more durability. Like, it breaks a bit slower, I mean. And I don't really know why that's a thing. It doesn't really need to be a thing, but it still is. Like, it'd be perfectly normal for it to just have the stone durability. I guess, I mean, it wouldn't not make sense. It's fine either way. It's just kind of weird, I guess. Maybe it's just because the ore in this game is like a solid block. Like, the tile of stone and the tile of ore are like the same size, so maybe that's why. I wish I could drop a torch. I don't remember how to drop stuff. Okay, I ran out of rope. That means this is either really deep or... Oh, I can't even hold the torch. I'm pretty sure I can put stone down, can't I? Okay, I placed stone there for some reason. Well, I heard it place. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I did reach the bottom. It's just in an ocean. Or not an ocean, but like a water pool. I'm pretty sure there's something there. No, it's just, that stuff. That actually can be turned into ore if you have some kind of, like, crafting station. I forget what it's called. But it's really OP in the early game. I don't think you can find it in the early game, though. Oh, I'm out of torches as well. So, I pretty much just have to go to the store and buy stuff now. Or, by the store, I mean go to the merchant and buy stuff. Or, no, I have ropes now. I still can't see anything without torches, but I can craft them while I'm down here. With all of the wood that I have. And gel. Yeah, this is gonna be a really good cave, because the background's different. It's raining slimes, although it's not raining slimes. Because there is an event where it rains slimes, but that's currently not happening. Or at least I don't think it is. I didn't see the message if it is. If it is, that means I can fight the king slime and get ninja gear. I don't think that's actually useful. At all. Like, even early game, I don't think that's useful unless you have literally no armor. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's just there for the early game. I think King Slime is a bit easier to fight than the Eye of Cthulhu. And the Eye of Cthulhu is like the first boss that you fight. The main reason is because it has a lot less things needed to happen for it to spawn, I guess. Like, a lot of stuff doesn't have to happen for it to... It doesn't have to be raining slime, pretty much. Oh, I forgot that I had this grappling hook, by the way. But yeah, that's gonna make grabbing things a lot easier. because I can just grapple to the ore. I don't have to dig around it. I completely forgot that I had this. It's weird how you can build things in Terraria that you can walk into, but you can't get out of without having to destroy something. Like, I could walk into that area, but I couldn't walk out of it, so I had to break that block. There we go. Can I get bit? Yeah, that's gonna be impossible, actually. Oh, there's a skeleton there. I wonder how much damage skeletons do. I don't really want to test it, but I kind of do at the same time. Oh, he's throwing stuff. That's not a normal thing. Oh, he does, like, my health. Yeah. He does the entirety of my health. Okay, so we might be under-equipped for mining, which is not that great of a sign. I'm sure if I had, like, full tungsten, I'd be fine, but, or at least a lot better. Maybe not fine. This is going to be much better than the iron helmet, though, because it's going to get me up to 11 defense if I can click on the right things. Oh, I thought I got an achievement for that. I was like, I put on that helmet before, but that's not what it was referring to. Now I just need tungsten shoes. And then I have full tungsten. But yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna play Terraria. I might play for like another 30 minutes or something, or whenever this stream reaches 2 hours, not a full 30. But we've done a lot this stream. I do want to have something to do tomorrow outside of general mining, which I'm probably still gonna have to do that anyway. I'm pretty much just gonna have to mine continuously until I've fought a boss, and then I will have to mine some, but. Or until I have the gear to fight a boss. And then I won't have to mine as much, but I'll still have to mine a lot. And there's one of those lizard things. I don't really know what those are. They weren't in the game whenever I played on mobile. Like, they still aren't in the mobile version, I guess, because the mobile version's literally not updated since I started playing it. Oh yeah, that's gonna kill me, actually. I do remember that it spits stuff and it spits poison, but I don't remember doing that much damage. Obviously, with expert mode, it's going to be scaled up a bit. Okay, so the salamander is what it's called, and it's down there. Okay, I just want to make sure that I can get to a position and shoot it so it cannot shoot me. There we go. So I killed it. Not too difficult, I just had to space myself. I could have done the same thing with the skeleton. I think the skeleton has a bit more range though. With the salamander, I noticed whenever it spit poison at me that it was shooting it in an arc, so it had a limited amount of range. But I don't think the skeleton stopped. I think it's like the dry bones in Mario Maker and the Super Mario World style, where they'll just randomly throw stuff at you. I really need to finish Super Mario World. I have the cartridge still, and it's not the Super Nintendo version, it's the Game Boy Advance version. So there's a reason that I haven't finished it, it's because I'm playing on a Game Boy Advance, but... And I also don't, like, have a fully charged DS or fully charged Game Boy Advance lying around. I need to find the charger for one of them so I can finish the game. Because I've heard it's better than Super Mario Bros. 3, or at least that's a lot of people's opinions, but I don't know. Currently, I think Super Mario Bros. 3 is the best 2D Mario game. I'm not counting Maker. Sorry, I'm not counting Maker, because Maker is kind of its own thing. But it's at least been the most fun one that I've played. I've beaten the first world in Super Mario World, but outside of that, I haven't finished it. So if I did play it again, I'd just restart. I also can't get out of this mine, so actually, I'll probably just end the stream here. It seems kind of like a decent spot to end it. I'm not dead. I have everything that I currently want to have, like all of my money and stuff. Nothing too bad's happening. In the next stream, which, I mean, I don't know if I'll stream Terraria tomorrow, because I streamed a lot today. Streamed almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes. So, I streamed a lot of it today. I've done a lot of stuff, talked a lot. Somehow found conversations out. Like, I'm not that great at just thinking of random things to talk about, but in Terraria, that's pretty much just what you have to do, because there's not that much else happening. Like, all I've done in the game is just dug straight down. At some point, I started to drain water, and then I died to a skeleton, I died to a boulder, fought some slimes, fought a salamander a few seconds ago, and another slime. And then in the overworld, I've just made ore and then gone straight back to going underground. So really nothing has happened eventful in the game, I've just kind of been talking over it. And then that's pretty much the early game, summed up as nothing eventful happens until you fight a boss. Once you fight a boss, then everything starts happening. But for now, I gotta get geared for that. But I am just gonna end this stream here, and I guess I hope to see everyone in the next one.